I wanted to do a quick video on checking the transmission fluid level on a 2019 plus Mercedes Sprinter. This is a 3-liter diesel with the 7-speed transmission. It doesn't have a dipstick. It has to be checked with the drain plug. So I just wanted to do a real quick video on that. I've already done the transmission fluid service and drain the torque converter. If you got questions about that, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But this is just a quick fluid level check. So I've leveled the van. I'm on a pretty unleveled driveway here. So I've actually used some leveling blocks in the back since this is a camper, and I've let a little bit of air out of the front tires to get it perfect, because I'm also going to take this opportunity to set my digital leveler I have inside. It's not perfect, but I've got it level on the longitudinal axis. We're good both ways here. So now I'm going to start the van, and I'm going to use a laptop with Xentry to get the transmission to 40 to 45 Celsius. And when I get there, I'm also going to use a temperature gun to check the temperature of the transmission fluid pan from underneath. So that might help some of you. Most people don't have access to Xentry, and it's a huge file and a little bit of a bear to run compared to some other diagnostic software. So I'm going to check the temperature of the pan, and that should give you a ballpark for how you could check it at home by yourself without the use of Xentry. Some people might disagree with that, but I think it would be a perfectly acceptable way to get a ballpark figure. So now I'm going to get into Xentry and get the transmission up to the specified value and go from there. Alright, when you've got Xentry booted up, you're going to click on the checklist over here on the side, third one down, and you're going to go to Drive Systems, and then you're going to go to N15/11 on mine, Fully Integrated Transmission Control. Then you're going to go up here, third one over to the right, Actual Values, and then we're going to go to Oil Level Check. This gives you a warning to make sure you're using proper fluid. We're going to continue, and then I've got 28 Celsius as my actual value. I'm looking for 40 to 45 C. The engine is running, and they recommend that you run it at 2,000, 2,500 RPMs to warm it up, because it's better for the DPF and everything. So I'm taking mine up to around 2,500, and when this hits 40 C, I'm going to go out there with the engine idling. That's another point that's kind of hard to come across online, even though that's how you always checked transmissions in the past. I just wanted to be sure. You leave the engine idling, and around 40 C with it idling, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to pull the plug on the transmission and let the fluid come out until it tapers off to a thin stream, and then I'm going to put the plug back in the transmission, and that's going to set it to the specified level. I'm also at that point going to hit it with the temperature gun to give you guys a ballpark figure of what the transmission pan is at several positions. That way, with a $20 Raytec infrared gun, you'll be able to get a ballpark figure and do a transmission service at home if you don't have access to Xentry. I don't love idling modern diesels, and you can see from the value there, it's going to take at least a couple of minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this video in the interest of keeping it concise. When this hits 40 C, I'm going to hop out there and I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing to drain it as best I can without making a mess. So as you can see from the actual value there, we've hit 40 C. Now, as slow as this is going up at 2,500 RPMs, you're going to have loads of time at idle. It was probably taking a minute or plus per degree Celsius with it at 2,500. So at idle, I've probably got 5 or 10 minutes here to do my thing. So we're going to head underneath and see how much fluid we get out. So that's pretty straightforward. You can see I've got, I don't know, a few hundred milliliters in here, maybe a pint or so, and I already had a little bit of fluid in the pan, so not much drained out. I didn't sit there for too long. I waited until it tapered off to just more than a few drips, which the spec in the book says it tapers off to a thin stream, so I think that's about as close as I need it. We head back here and check on Xentry. We are at 43C, and that took me probably 3 or 4 minutes. I'm taking my time. So now we're going to grab the temp gun and take some temp readings so that maybe some of you that don't have access to Xentry will be able to do this as well. So as you can see there, the drain plug gives us about almost exactly the value we want. It's close. The spec's 40 to 45C, which is like 104 to 112 or something Fahrenheit. After doing that even, we're still at 44C. So really, if you got a good temp gun that was even reasonably calibrated and got yourself to about 105 at the drain plug, that should put you about dead center of the spectrum. So again, that's not what the book calls for, but Xentry is a huge program and not everybody's going to have access to it, and it's going to save you a lot of money at the dealership. And if you think about dipstick ranges on every other transmission for however many years we've been doing it that way, this is going to get you really, really close. So I don't care what the purists say. I think it's a method I would be happy to use in the future. And also for reference, it took probably about 5 to 10 minutes of running at 22 to 2500 to get me to this temperature, at least. So anyway, that's where we are. I hope this video helps somebody get the transmission fluid done. There's plenty of videos out there on changing the fluid itself and the filter and draining the torque converter. That's all really easy stuff to do yourself, and it'll save you a bundle on your service B or whatever you need. If you haven't seen the rest of my videos on my camper build, check them out. Got videos on almost everything. So I'm almost done with it, and now just kind of getting caught up on service. So y'all have a good one.